Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm Amy.
And I'm Sarah, and today we're going to be discussing Yours Truly by Abby Jiminez.
The first few minutes, we're going to do a brief review of the story without any spoilers. Then we're going to shift into a deeper book discussion. It's going to include lots of spoilers, but don't worry. As always, we're going to let you know before we do shift into that deeper book discussion.
That's right. So before we do that, Amy has a brief description of what Yours Truly is all about. Amy, let us have that.
Even after a rocky first meeting, Brianna, an ER doctor, agrees to a fake dating relationship with the handsome new doctor Jacob after he makes a life-altering decision to help her brother with a kidney transplant. This book is full of humor, quirkiness, and angst. Sarah, what did you think about Yours Truly?
I loved it so much. Normally, I love a fake dating trope. I really, really do. Sometimes they can be a bit fluffy. Mm-hmm. This one is absolutely not fluffy.
I agree.
It is so incredible. It's just, I loved the characters. You get a little peek at a character of an aspect of life that some people deal with. I just loved it. I can't really, until we dig in, I can't say too much. What did you think?
This was my second book to read by this author, and I love her witty writing. It's so good. And this book, I feel like, is a really good mixture of both humor and angst.
Yeah.
So there is a topic in here that one of the characters deals with, and I found it very enlightening to learn about. So it gave me a greater appreciation and an understanding for people who deal with social anxiety.
Yes.
So for me, I'm the personality type that I'm kind of in the middle. If I'm if I'm surrounded by a group of people that I know very well, I'm fine and comfortable. But if you put me into that situation where I don't know any in the room, that anxiety starts to set in. But I am close to someone who is an internal processor and needs to pull back to get out of social spaces. So I enjoyed this story just from that perspective and getting to understand that a little bit more. I am definitely going to look forward to more books by this author.
Oh, absolutely. She's become one of my favorites. This was my first, and I'm sold. I'm reading everything she has. Like, give it all to me. I love it.
All right, let's get into our ratings. Angst.
Okay, angst. I gave it a 2.
Okay.
Because I was not super overwhelmed. There was angsty moments, but this did not feel like an angst-driven book for me personally. She just weaves so much humor throughout it that it really brought that level down for me. I think it could have been more if she didn't have the humor in there, but
so I was higher than you. I did 3.5, and the reason for that, so miscommunication is a conflict trope that a lot of readers find frustrating. I am not one of those. I'm not going to, not read a book just because there's miscommunication in it. But there is definitely a high volume of miscommunication, misunderstanding, misinterpretation. All of that is represented in this story. So for me, it drove the angst up.
It just made me frustrated. I wasn't really, but yeah.
Okay. Humor.
Okay, humor. This was a 3.5 for me. She was just, I don't know. I chuckled so much throughout. I laughed out loud. I kept stopping to read passages to my husband. It was just funny.
I gave it 3. There were plenty of laugh out loud moments, like you said. Lots of internal chuckling, humor, wit. We already talked about the wit. So yeah, solid 3 for me.
Yep.
Spiciness.
Okay, this was just a 1.
Okay, I did a 2. Tell me why you did 1.
There just wasn't a lot, and it wasn't super descriptive when it was. There's some moments where the characters think, but I just didn't think it was that spicy.
I did too. This is definitely a slow burn, and the times that there are intimate scenes, well, some of the scenes in particular are surrounded by angst and drama in the relationship, which we can get into more when we do the deeper discussion. That's a little teaser plug for you. So that's why I did 2 out of 5. All right, tears.
I gave it a 1.5.
Me too.
Okay. I feel like there was some heavy topics as far as what some of the characters are dealing with, but just the way it's written, it doesn't feel heavy, if that makes sense. So I didn't cry real tears, but I was very sad for some characters and what they go through. And
that is literally what I wrote down verbatim. So we have the same rating for the same reason.
Ditto.
Overall,
this was a 5. Okay. I loved it so much. I
love that you gave it a 5.
I gave it a 5. My husband was like, "You gave it a 5?" I was like, "I gave it a 5." This lady made me laugh so much. It didn't overwhelm me with the angst of it. It was just, It was perfect.
Top notch.
I loved it.
I did 4.5, so I wasn't much behind you. It was fast paced. Love the humor. The humor just really made it for me, and I highly recommend this book. It's so good.
Definitely.
All right, that does conclude our spoiler-free quick review of today's story. If you would like to follow us along with our deeper discussion, you can simply click the link below or find us on any podcast platform by searching Post-Book Depression. If you haven't read this story, go check it out, and then find us on social media. Tell us all your thoughts, what you thought about it. You can find us on Instagram at Post-Book Depression Podcast, on Facebook in our Post-Book Depression discussion group, and you can always email us at postbookdepressionpodcast@gmail.com.